amnokom yenu ya baako ene All People's Congress etwantiam efa ne APC amnokom ya pani o ya kofare ba no kran so no wotu franka edima samnokoyim 2025 ba ya tuatwam ekoyem Yewra Hassan Ayarika wone Yewra Alankwajo Kyerematen wonu su kwa fensa munma for change sa ekwam yenom wonu mababonten ade ababetu edwasam yema mi chen adokwa Mensa ya sa maami wonu woye electoral commissioner domtani ne kamensa ni suban bia wodan wati enuma bia woye oyabatu atuatwam koye yempo enkenkan so no ebida so akamu ama enei recollection ana ekosom womusin sa subani ya wotadi no sanka eye ade ne yetonton am wamaka se ensisi suye enioma enkoye ewo no suban bia wodan wati ewo aba yetuam ti sana tadi a womu mpantoton empene no ye maame no womu ka chance won resign won fa de dibra na konwa nyina ento na won ko sade beye yebenya obiom sunse na adwuma ba beye no ebeso ni Electoral Commission wo pani na aboa emase yeto ababie wa hawo antimi ankoba yeto ababie no ma entile no ma ntwentwene na ase na ma sade Ghana form abato Commission adwuma no every panifo so eba besi aseofo so kame sesem yeni gidie eni arehemu ewo eyesa wono adwuma mu yentino sa wo no ebetimi every one mu na Yewra Hassan Ayarika APC amnokonom presidential candidate bra wani central for aiding kono wase wo hwa mamene performance ya wadan wadena ebra yeto aba no awieye ya nanka wase otimba madi akwaleti nyoma wakeka enyoma siani woboaboa figures no ano ene bra wase otimba abonten ebedi kana so ananso no wo mu chese e delay ye echei enti sani mona mame no ayeye no na eche so onhyada enim na dwuma no eni so enu ntina sa na tedia wase yetimi pam no ane mpono afa paper to no mo no campaign edis no kase oh Ghana for midin anima me chen adokwa Mensa chairperson Electoral Commission mi am ready am here na mi anu ni ma go me wani mase na ama o man Ghana kemam kabiri so ya twentwen na ase ama integrity mu de ekuta no ni nyina so arifam say tim anu nti na sa na tede a ene mia honorably mede mi dibre to wono mo wase ma media ne sa ebebua papa wano ka wei ewie yenom ana Yewra ka aya courage no be ya wono nso aya pani abede akire ya wo hwe aya en sonko esom mecha deputy director Emma policy en sonko moving for change womo nso adigu akwan mu ewa abato ayetoye mu womo nso akasabim na Professor Stephen Ade wo pani kasia enkanenom na wo rector watam Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration ye twanitia ekansa gimpa anonom womenyina abeka bi echese nyame anim ni de ekosonom eye ade bi ha adwene papa na mo de wobi nsi twodo ematoa Professor ne nsama wono nso wode atu edwa no moma yenko na yenko tenisma wodo ya wode atu edwa ade of Chief Justice omo chese empon kabaya Yewra Mahama ene mpanofo bi enkamom na nkamami ye wono so kwa ne nyini firi wo ne amfa foforo emra ne so kan ye Erifa Chief Justice no mama yentie bi.
First of all, it will be disastrous, especially initially in his term. You will be consolidating a very bad practice which will not augur well for Ghana's future, whereby every president basically appoints a new electoral commissioner. Hopefully, if what has gone on, Jean may decide to resign herself. Then that is, we must find a way of not destroying our institutions, but how do we make it better? But as for the Supreme Court Chief Justice, I think, from my personal point of view, if they touch the Chief Justice by political removal and not because he has done something that requires impeachment and goes through an impeachment process, I and you will pay a heavy price for it. Not because of her, but because of the undermining of the system. The question is this: the Chief Justice must not work well with Akufo-Addo or Mahama. He must be seen to uphold the law, and therefore, if she is not upholding the law, then you go through the justification, the impeachment, and everything else. So, but cannot use a political motivation and decision to remove a Chief Justice. God forbid if you do that. When it comes to the Electoral Commission, once again, there are certain processes. If you can prove that he has gone against a certain fundamental things. For example, some say that incompetence. You will be find very difficult to prove incompetence. It's easier to prove corruption, but incompetence is very difficult. So what I'm saying is this: the Electoral Commission, I would like, if he has done wrong, prove it, remove it. But if you do so because he was appointed by NPP without showing that in the discharge of her duties he has done wrong.
For opening Kasamoten Kane, Professor Stephen Ade Enkanino, now a rector Penia no Edam, Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, Yetrentia F and Game Panti, and no Chief Justice Benjamin petition, Yanin Fruanomo, Yanin Fonono, Wakanidia, and a young common swaying, na Yane political analyst, Dr. Jonathan Asantowachi, one also a boy, Juma Papa. And ye yebe shasi ato abanyas and ketwen and in koma yato abey area the ebe chenyano yene no esa di nkoma pani so ati anka wie mu akwa baba krefem so yo yeda se pass waje so na yenhwe ni say nipa mienu omo edi mu e wo memo meka se wo me yampan fam tiatia institutions ano a enya san ketwen na manfo percent yenyu omo to egwafri so modima nsani enipa edi kan eye ma me che na do kwa mensa wo no eye chairperson Electoral Commission ye bi mu kansa ma mi wo hwa abato collation no kra nko yesa ana afenso kra so babo ntia bebo no eno nso e delay ye enti ye ni kan enhyase emfiri ho no mu sansa mamanfo aya so mo epre hu say ye nyini tu agwa hu ni say
yes I say Mensa and your uncle and then in terms of they can decide say they want to resign because then can you be a Ghana when they decided to move for about 10 blocks at the Amayo of Mahama. I'm very sure this particular situation.
Hello, doctor.
Hello.
Where the fashion is sorti and come sir. Radio bi o se TV be unte ma yenya feedback o echire.
That's right.
Ka obedum na ma yenya na ba firi ho kra ma na nke ni beji.
That's right.
Avoti anka.
Waba tele Accra FM ya mami.
Hello dog. Yete wonka. Yete wonka. Yanko.
Sani awoka ai na mute ahondi tin.
Yete bibi dase ase station B na yi dase. Okay. Yo yanko.
Hello, dear sir. Met me akasa.
Hey dog, met me akasa.
Okay, me do say. Ntia na episode ewie dia introduction hapa na
Accra FM.
Edi kan no me kan ka say. Baba fani jin Mensa ene ni mpenifo. San ebeya ankomo ankasa resign embro. Ebe the idea of going through the strain and stress of being removed through the same legal means but that being said, also in terms of pre-collations, so to speak, it has not been captured by CR 127, and they are probably doing that through administrative processes. Definitely, they will have to have some questions to answer, and in some few days or some few weeks or in some few months to come, definitely there will come a pointer. If the government they will decide to set up a commission of inquiry. And I have said time without number that as a country we need some forensic audit to be done at the EC. And that forensic audit ought to be done. And then all manner of things ABI who said no, years or mine, we can propose certain reforms and then ensure say come 2028 we will have a fairly and violent free elections. In 2028-2024 we have had not less than 13 people losing their lives in the name of elections. And when you ask them, they will say, in terms of security, it is not their business. But the point is that once elections now will conduct them, if the process is proof, there will never be any kind of violent measure. Because the process now will be aware in terms of transparency. So if that is the case, there will never be any violent measure. How does it happen, say, Obia wano move from military to transition from military to civilian. Obia who about at the time I year to aba. You're a Rollins Abresso. You're a Kufa Abresso. We never heard anything like that. You're a Mensa Abresso. Never did we hear anything like that. How can President Kufado's era, in 2 successive elections, we have had about 30 people losing their lives? So it is to say, the appointing authority, and because they have their own parochial interest of ensuring that A or B wins something, that's the more reason why they will put in certain measures. It's not strange to say you are doing recollation out of 9, 7 Aqua NPP for, and you think that people will not ask questions about that. And you know, those who are calling for a head, I agree with that totally. But it should be through a legal process.
Okay, I was a family so now the young shot Chief Justice and Susana Manfo a person on sono the Juman Shadan son if he said the war yen answer war ye Jumano at the Abua party be anuntabe on Siampam Nembum Professor Stephen Ade former rector Emma Kimpa HS de B Eba Sasa yen tepuan do ye pre ho say wono so ye be no enti eno so ba anke ante aboa se no so na small kan huni sen
the Chief Justice along the line, long before the elections, I said, somebody would send a petition against for a removal. And that petition did not come from any mean a person, no mean a person than Professor Azari. So with solid grounds, let the process continue. If at the end of the day, the process, I say, ABC and D, you're a professor there, they work on me. Many have been to a large extent. But the point is that if Emrakwemuno, because he is not privy to certain information, Abia Wakasa, of course, it is not right. Say Abia, use political means, Abia Chief Justice. Don't forget, sir, you are for Abia, no George in the Woods war, Professor Mensa were in it. You are a Mahama or Tinapas, Bibiasa ANC, until say, at the end of the day, about exercise, Euro Kupado, every justice named by Gloria Kupu, then Justice so for Kufu, right? Justice named by Justice Tokono. So the point is that the process can continue, but once there is a petition, it ought to be investigated and the right panel constituted to ensure, say, at the end of the day, nothing untoward will happen. That's all.
Yo, any a dog said what he can interviews doors and Timmy Yao. Na yam fonsia do ase papa paduma de wabobi yam afinsha panso. Yo, I was for Pania Yaninu Koti and Komoyo political analyst Dr. Jonathan Asante Ochiri.